right, guys. So, The Last of Us Season 2 aired last night, and I wanted to give my thoughts about it. It was a pretty decent episode overall. I thought it was a great start, I guess, to the season and all the storylines that they're going for. It also was just renewed for Season 3, and so it's going to be kind of interesting to see where they go. I do know pretty much most of the things that happen in the Last of Us 2 video game. I did not finish that game. I only did the beginning and saw, like, the big fiasco of what happens with Abby and everything. No, I'm not going to give any spoilers to that. But I do have a lot of thoughts that I wanted to give about this episode. And overall, I was a big fan of Season 1, and I love the first game as well. Like I said, I mean, overall, I had a pretty good time watching this, except I have a ton of issues with Ellie as a character right now. In the show. I mean, I didn't really like Ellie too much in the game either, but I love Joel the most. He's like my favorite character. Probably most people maybe feel that way as well. I don't know. But for me, I really love Joel, him as a character, and I love his version in the show as well. Ellie just kind of gets on my nerves. She's really immature and really shows her immaturity even at 19 years old in when it's 5 years later for season 2 in this episode. Really, really annoying. I mean, I was watching it with my wife and my friends, and we were just making fun of Ellie the entire time because she was so annoying. So I'm going to get into that. I mean, it starts off when you first see her that she's fighting this dude. He is ginormous. I mean, his hands are just as big as her head, and she gets punched in the face and her nose starts bleeding, and then she takes him down somehow. She gets triggered at him because Jesse, I think his name, the Asian guy, he's like, oh, he pulled his punches, and she was so mad about that. And they both were like, yeah, if I didn't pull my punches, you'd be knocked out, which is totally true. I mean, Ellie's at least the actress, she's like 5'1", 5'2", and this dude is ginormous. How are you upset that he pulled his punches like that? I mean, I know like they're, people in the real world aren't going to pull their punches, but at some point, like she will just get knocked out every single time they're trying to spar if he does not pull his punches there. That was really annoying. Just right off the bat, I was like, ugh, this is going to be so hard to watch. She disrespects Tommy. First of all, she starts yelling and screaming that she's been bitten, even though he tells her to be quiet about it. I mean, that's really, really dangerous, especially in the community that they live in. People will take that seriously. It is life or death. So they will probably shoot her with no hesitation. I mean, Joel, we learned that Joel did that with someone, with the therapist's husband. Most likely, I'm assuming that's what happened. And I'll go into the therapist and Joel later on, but I first want to talk about Ellie and how annoying she is. Yeah. She starts yelling and screaming, and Tommy's like, will you shut up? And then she's moaning and crying about wanting to be on patrol, and Tommy gives it to her for some reason, no idea why, even though she should not be allowed to go on patrol because of how reckless she is, and she's putting herself and others in danger because of it, which everyone knows, but they still let her to do whatever she wants for some reason. There's no accountability here. And so, yeah, that part was really annoying. Again, this is right after the fighting scene. And I'm like, holy moly, how does this get even worse? So they're on their route and everything, right? And they find this bear that's been chewed up by some of the zombies and everything. And there's a store, like an abandoned store. They hear some noises, so they want to go check it out. And Ellie and Dina, they go in there, and their captain or whoever's the team leader or whatever, she tells him, do not go in there. We need to go back as we were instructed. So she's trying to follow the rules of this community that is, again, this is life or death here that we're talking about. This is a zombie apocalypse where the zombies are crazy and they pose a very real threat to not only the people there, but to destroying this whole civilization community that they have built. And Ellie directly disobeys this order, goes in with Dina, gets bit, because of her recklessness, and she even struggles to take down the zombie. Like, she throws the bottle, which I thought was cool because that's what you do in the game. But she ends up throwing the bottle, hops on the back of the thing, and starts stabbing its neck, and takes like forever for it to die. And I'm like, you are embarrassing to watch. What? I was like, what am I watching right now? She can't even, she can barely handle one of these zombies. I'd hate to see what happens later on in the season. That was pretty annoying. Then she falls and she encounters this smart zombie, is a little more intelligent, like sneaks up on her, hides and stuff. And then again, she gets bit because of her stupidity and recklessness. Very, very annoying. Um, she won't talk to Joel. I mean, that's understandable with kind of what's going on. And again, that's from the game. Um, I did not like, again, this isn't the scene from the game, but she disrespects him in front of the whole town, basically the whole entire town. They're celebrating New Year's and stuff. It's like he's just trying to protect you. I know that you don't necessarily want to be protected, feel like you don't need to be, but clearly you do because of how reckless you are. And she just disrespects him in front of the whole town. Even before that, she goes in front of like the council or whatever. You know, there's no consequences to her actions, her or Dina. They just get let off the hook for no reason at all. Very annoying. I'll talk about that scene in just a second as well. Tommy says it would be different if him and Joel went to the store. And then Tommy's wife says like how, and you know, Ellie's like, why is it different if you guys went? What do you mean, how is it different? These are two grown men with so much more experience in this world than you, a 19-year-old, immature, selfish, who acts like she's still 14, also looks like you're still 14, because I don't like Bella Ramsey in the role. She doesn't look like she's aged a day, and it's very not convincing that, you know, that she's this, she wants to be some, you know, I can do anything, but she wants to be like this I can do anything character. I don't need anyone to help me. But then she makes these stupid choices and acts so immature. She wants everyone to treat her like an adult, but she continues to not act like one. I don't feel sorry for her at all. She's just very annoying character in this episode. Again, I understand her being upset at Joel, even though I agree with Joel for what he did. But that doesn't mean she has to act super immature for you know, against everyone. It's just super annoying. Just act like an adult. Like you want to be treated like one, then start acting like one. Again, quit acting like you're 14. That's exactly what she's doing. Disrespecting Tommy, Joel, all the leaders of the community, her captain or team lead, whatever, on the horses, on their patrol, not obeying anything. Her character really needs to change this season, or it's going to be a long season of watching her character. Super really annoying and frustrating. So yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say on Ellie. Let me know if you guys disagree, if we agree, down in the comments below. Would love to hear. Abby, the character, I don't want to go too much on her. I don't really have too many thoughts. She was in the very beginning, and general audiences wouldn't know exactly what she's doing. But yeah, she definitely wants to kill Joel for some reason, and she is tied to the Fireflies and what happened at the hospital, as you can tell from the beginning scene. I don't really have much more to go off of. We haven't seen pretty much anything about her, so I'll save that for later episodes and videos. I did not finish the second game, like I said at the beginning. I know she is a controversial character. We'll see if it's the same here. She is supposed to be jacked. The character in the game is like super buff. The actress is not buff. I think that was something that the creative team decided not to do for some reason. I didn't look too much into it. Some people are upset about that. I don't really care. Joel, poor Joel, man. He's just trying to do the right thing. Everyone hates him, especially Ellie. And yeah, it's really frustrating. Joel, my opinion, I mean, he obviously done a lot of things wrong. I don't think what happened at the end of season 1, he did wrong. He's just trying to save who is now his daughter, and he even calls her his daughter to the therapist and everything. And Tommy's like her uncle now. You know, I feel really bad for the guy. Everyone just treats him like garbage. He has the right ideals when it comes to the town. There was the scene between him and Tommy's wife. Can't remember her name, Maria or something maybe. There's too many people, and they need to stop letting people in, or the whole place will collapse. I mean, totally. Like that's what Joel was saying, and Tommy's wife disagreed in throwing it in Joel's face, like you were a refugee too. Well, yeah, that was a time, it was two of us, and that was a time when things weren't this bad. You know, they're trying to grow and expand as much as they can, but there's too many people coming in, and, you know, probably not enough food to go around. So some tough choices have to be made when you're a leader, and I think that's one of the choices that she has to make, but she's not making it. And so I think Joel is definitely right in that sense. Tommy's wife was being annoying with Joel, and then Tommy, like I said, back when Ellie and Dina were being reprimanded, if you can call it that, about what happened at the store, um, Ellie says, "Well, you and Joel would have gone in," and Tommy says that's different, and then his wife's like, "How?" I'm like, "What do you mean how?" Again, these are two grown men with so much more experience, and I think what Tommy's wife could have done in that moment is tell Ellie like, look, it doesn't matter if they would have gone in. They would have suffered consequences like you're about to suffer because of your recklessness and you not following orders. That's exactly what happened to them because they're grown adults and you need to start acting like one. It was just so frustrating. There was no consequences to her actions. Just lets her do whatever she wants. There was a therapist scene. Pedro Pascal had some really good acting in this scene. But I did have my problems with it. First of all, the therapist hates Joel's guts because he killed her husband, apparently. Eugene, who I think is in the games. The therapist is not, so that's a made up character for the show, but her husband is a character in the games. And I think we'll probably get some flashbacks between what happened between Joel and her husband, Eugene, and when Joel kills him. She said that she was angry about she understood why he killed him, probably got bit again, but it was how he did it. Yeah, she basically says that she hates his guts, and I'm like, Joel, what are you doing? Like, she's like, okay, we need to be open and honest, and I'm going to say this, even though it's difficult, I'm going to be honest with you. And she wants Joel to say, that he saved Ellie and the way that he did it. She wants him to tell her that. Basically the end of season 1. That's what she wants Joel to tell him because she knows that Joel is hiding something. It's like kind of dumb because she's just like, yeah, I hate your guts. I'm never going to forgive you, basically. And then she's like, okay, tell me. And I'm like, Joel, get out of there, first of all. Look, I'm sorry about your husband. It had to be done. He could have done it a different way. I understand. But that doesn't mean Joel has to open up to you. How can he trust you knowing that you're going to give him the advice that he needs when he now knows that you hate his guts and are never going to forgive him? So, I don't understand why, if he continues to go see her and stuff, I really don't understand why. I would just say, look, I appreciate all your help so far, but because of your biasing and stuff and just what's happened, I don't think it's best that we continue to talk. I'll maybe go and try to find someone else. I mean, she's also drinking during his sessions, which is not okay. I mean, in the apocalypse, I'm sure therapeutic rules and regulations don't apply at all. But still, I mean, I wouldn't want my therapist if I'm telling them my secrets and trying to improve my life and they're just drinking and high the whole entire time, because that's how Joel pays her with weed. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I wanted to say about the episode. There was a lot of negatives, mostly about Ellie, but I'm hopeful for what I have to see later on. Hopefully it gets better. Hopefully Ellie's less annoying. Bella Ramsey, unfortunately, she's just not the right fit for this character. I don't think they should have aged her up. I think because I think when they first filmed season 1, Bella Ramsey was 19, which Ellie is now. So again, she doesn't look any different. She doesn't feel any different. She still feels like that annoying 14-year-old who thinks she knows everything. It's just so frustrating. Like, I don't know, be a little more humble and try to learn from the leaders, try to learn from the actual adults in the room, because you clearly are not one. You don't act like one. Hopefully she does that. And let me know what you guys thought about the episode. If you agree or disagree with me, leave it down in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.